Hi, welcome to the small shed. This week we're going to get a sticker wall. See you in a minute. Now I've been meaning to build a sticker wall for some months now, and I had got a sheet of 5mm perspex that I was going to use that I'd got from the recycling centre for about £5. But at Menning Sheds the other day I had a little old lady get in touch whose husband had died, unfortunately, and she'd got a garage to clear out and wanted us to move all the timber. So we took a lot of the timber back to the shed. And because I'd got a roof rack, had to go back and get some of the long lengths of timber. And while I was there, I just said if she wanted anything else taken to the tip because it was on the way back to the shed, I'd help her by getting rid of it. And she piled a whole load of stuff out that was unwanted, amongst which was some 4mm, I think it is, white acrylic, and there was some skirting board. So I brought that back home because I thought it might come in useful and save a lot of work in doing the sticker wall. So let's just have a look at some other bits that I've gathered over the last few weeks that are leftovers from other jobs and see what we can put together. So that's the sheet of acrylic that I've got. I've got some 6mm MDF that's left over from the recent workbench build, so that'll provide me with a backing for it. The MDF skirting will provide a frame of some sort. I've got some aluminium tape left over from the shed build that I'll use this to seal the joints in the vapour barrier on the inside of the shed. I've also got left over from when we did the kitchen some years ago some of the LED strip, which is ideal for backlighting things. The thing I've been playing with recently is some halo rings for, I think they're really automotive industry stuff that they use behind headlights and things like that. I've been playing with them for putting around routers to light up your workpiece, but as it happens I think some of those will go together quite well to give me a white illumination in a particular section. The only difficulty I ever found with this stuff was finding an end for it, but it is possible to do it. It's best to leave the backing on as long as possible because it has a tendency to crease and distort. In this instance it doesn't really matter, as long as I can keep it in straight lines it's not going to matter too much. There's a bit of a crinkling here and there, it will just help throw the light forward. Now this strip has a self-adhesive backing on it, so it should just stick straight down. These things are 12 volt, they've got all the resistors built in, and you can cut them every 3 lights. You can actually cut and join if you're up to soldering them. You can join them, just scrape the surface off and join them up. But at the moment I'm just going to run them around. Turn the light out, you should see. That's it. So it's a slightly blue light, but it should provide a bit of backlighting for the stickers. I've decided to take the diffusers off these halo lights, all you do really is just give the ring a gentle pull on the where the power goes in, and it releases the LED strip, and that takes the diffuser off. Now I've ripped the skirting down into about a 40mm depth. Just put a 45-degree angle on the joints, pin them together, hopefully to about the right size. Pop that on there. What I'll do then is square it up, glue it down, clamp it down when all the corners are at right angles, and then there's about 2 or 3 millimeters around the edge spare, and I'll use that little katsu to just tidy that up once it's all dried. Right, that's all the internal electrics sorted. It's typical of me to totally overcomplicate things, but we have now got lighting for the circle, which will be where I put a small shed logo, and we've got lighting for the main backgrounds, which will just fade in and out. Next we've got to put the lid back on it, so we'll just that will probably just have a couple of small screws in there just to locate it all. Fits in there, and then all I need to do is just round over the excess MDF at the back, where the base is slightly larger than the top, and cut out a logo in Perspex and attach that, and we're done. I'll coat of paint and a bit of filler. Now what I've done is printed out a couple of the small shed logos. I think that one's going to be a bit too big. Not going to be a fat lot of room for stickers on the wall if that's in the way. That's probably a better size, although it'll be more of a fiddle to cut out. What I'm going to do is double stick that to a piece of acrylic, well, 2 pieces of acrylic, an orange and a green, and then cut it out. I was going to use the scroll saw originally, but I might give the bandsaw a go. I don't know, it's quite fragile, a lot of these pieces, so I might struggle, but nothing to be ventured by not having a go. What to do then is cut the orange pieces out. Right, we'll start with the green acrylic. Take the protective film off. And just have a go at something simple to start with. Peel the backing off. I suspect at the end of the day I'll probably end up with a fret saw doing these, small coping or a jeweler's piercing saw, because they're much smaller than I had visualised it would need to be, but at least I'll be able to cut the straight lines, I think, anyway, so we'll have a go with this. Right, that's about as far as I can take it and still be able to count to 10. I shall take these pieces out that are still left with a hand jeweler's piercing saw. Well, that's another little job done, and it's cleared a few bits and pieces up that were lying around the shed. Hope you enjoyed the build. Look forward to seeing you next week when there'll be something different. See you then. Bye.